Okay, here we have the races for today, 27th of May 2019. As we're heading towards winter, the tracks are starting to return back to the synthetics. So for today there's three meetings: Sportsbet Ballarat Synthetic, Dubbo and Taree. Now, Monday racing is generally not the best in terms of quality. On the other hand, you can sometimes find a good wager on these days. Today is not necessarily one of those days. So the race we're going to have a look at today is at Sportsbet Synthetic. So this is a new track, but it seems to race pretty consistently with all the other synthetic tracks, so there's no reason why you can't bet there. Synthetic tracks run pretty much through winter, and so if you are going to have a wager, it's probably a good time to focus on this type of track. So the race of interest today is race 3, which is a 3-year-old plus maiden handicap set weight. Again, note the features of the track. Rail is in the true position, so again we're basically looking for races where the rail is going to be in the true position. That gives you the best opportunity for success. Now, the idea here is we're trying to look for a covered bet. That is to say, we try to find one horse that we can bet on to lose on Betfair, and then try to find some winning bets. Well, hopefully to find the winner, and well, hopefully have the horse we're going to lay lose. That's the first problem. The second problem is then to find the horse that's going to win. So in this race we have this horse Halcyon Dame, who's had quite a few starts and so far has not been successful in a maiden. And so the argument here would be, well, maybe one more time she'll try and not be successful. So anyway, from the top we'll go through the form, just looking at things quickly. Able Fun from the top has been racing okay, finishing reasonably close up over about the same distance. Looks like it's the first run on synthetic. Looks like it's some chance. Going to the next horse, Comte, hasn't been doing a great deal. Has a wide barrier. Had a wide barrier last time. Didn't do much, so we'll prefer that. Iron Lions ran last time at this track. BRTS beaten 3.5 after racing handy over a shorter distance. It's hard to see stepping up in distance is going to suit it better, so we'll prefer that one. Paramount Will, the same thing, ran at the same track, raced handy and weakened out of it. Wasn't beaten too far. Could be some sort of place chance, so I'll put that as a place. Perfect Pony is another horse that's had lots of starts. 14 starts in fact for 7 placings, so it's got a 50% strike rate to run a place, but the same thing as the favourite in the race. It really just doesn't seem to be able to get over the line. So they're trying it at, we haven't got the synthetic information here. If you click on this button, it'll show you no runs on the synthetic. Problem is 58 days since its last run. It is back a little bit in distance. Generally back in distance isn't good. It could be some sort of chance. Red Lucas, we don't have any runs. There's nothing on this horse, so we're just going to prefer it first up. There's not much we can do about it. Stylish Pattern has got a third at Echuca after racing handy. Has got a second at Echuca over 1400, so this is a 1400 metre race, so it's ran okay. It was still beaten a fair way though. 31 days off. It'd have to be some sort of chance. This one hasn't done much, so I'll prefer it. Halcyon Dame ran second last time of 6 over 1350. Ran okay on a soft 7. It's racing okay without doing anything fantastic, so there would have to be some chance. It has got a wide barrier, 16 days off. Number 10, first up, back from 2000 metres, has a wide barrier. It seems pretty unlikely. Same thing with this one. It hasn't done much. It's had quite a few starts and 9 starts for no placings. Surprise, well, it hasn't done a lot in trials so far, 3 trials, and now it's having a run. Have to be preferred first up. And we've gone round. So the thing to have a look for also is to look for gear changes. We'll drag that down into the window. Both of these horses don't seem to be terribly important. So there you have it. So you can sort it now to come up with your main chances. So in other words, we've got 9, 1, 7 and 5 as being the chances in the race. And the question then is to analyse the race a bit closer. Now, one of the features in the race is the summary. So if we have a look at the summary and we go across to the sectional ratings, we'll find that Able Fun's on top with a rating of 44 and Halcyon Dame is a fair way down with a rating of 32. That's on the last start. Now admittedly that was on a wet track, so you could argue the track was wet, so the horse was unable to run a fast sectional time for that race. On the second last start, Halcyon Dame is the second top pick, again behind Able Fun. So Able Fun in theory might have the edge on Halcyon Dame. So if we were going to look to have a bet in this race without doing a great deal of work, basically all we've done is gone through and selected out the rough chances, we might well be looking at Able Fun to beat Halcyon Dame and then maybe save on those other two selections, 5 and 7. So again, this is a fairly brief introduction here to the program. There's lots of races today and there's lots of possibilities that you could wager on to have covered bets. This may not be the best one, but as I say, the beauty about this horse is that there is some doubt about it running 1400 metres. That's the main feature. 1400 metre race, last start 2nd of 6. You could argue the track was wet, so they run a slow time, but generally in very small fields they normally sprint home hard. That was not the case in this race or in the last start. Looking at a few other features of the program very briefly, there is a note section, so if you want to write some notes on particular horses you can add those in there. There's also a planner section, so let's drag that into this window. So you might have a plan for the day, so your plan for the day might be win, that might be the plan. You can add in various horses and then add some comments. And then a day comment, you might end up having something that you've noticed for the day. So some particular feature, you might be thinking there's a leader bias or some other thing, something that you want to make a note of. Quite often you go through the day and at the end of the day you're thinking, what was it I was thinking about something, but you can't remember. Well, here you can add in whatever your comment might be. So for this sports bet synthetic meeting, it might be some feature that you want to add in. So again, that'll be saved there and you can go back and look at that at the end of the day. So that gives you a bit of a bonus in terms of trying to remember what you've done. As I say, quite often you'll have something that you think is important at the time and then later on you can't remember it. So anyway, there's the bet for today. Take lay the favourite, Halcyon Dame. Obviously if it eases out to about $3 or $4 for the win, well, you wouldn't be laying it, but at the $1.75 now showing on TAB, you would think it would be around $2 on Betfair. So at $2 it seems a fair wager, and you can then back the other 3 horses to win. So if one of those 3 win, you'll win on the race. If Halcyon Dame wins, you'll lose, and if they all lose, well, the idea is to break square on the race. So anyway, we'll see how we go a bit later with that. That's the end for today.